All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the 2021 Duels Winter Finals drawing slash rule discussion. I am Delthius. I have a co-caster here with me tonight, my cat Smokey. Hopefully she'll be cute and get in the camera and give me internet points. But how's it going, everybody? This is a little bit of an unusual stream that we are doing here today. We've done it before in the past, various drawings and whatnot for tournaments that have a little bit of an RNG aspect to them, and certain rounds promote Smokey to main caster. Hey, let her take my job, man. She's definitely vocal enough for it. I gotta set this camera up so you can see my cat more than you can see me. That's the play, right? I don't know if I can do it. Maybe if I can coerce her to sit on my armrest, we get some cat in the cam. So what are we doing? Why are we here? What's going on? All year long, if you're just kind of watching this on YouTube or haven't really been paying attention to the scene, lately we've been doing this 2021 Duels event where we had a spring open, a summer open, and a fall open, where players competed either as challengers or as bosses. The idea is the challenger has to get as far as they can through all the different bosses with a set amount of lives. The bosses try to defend and rack up points by taking kills off the challengers. And we've tallied up the scores at the end of the day, and we have our list of our top 24 players here that got seeded into the winter finals, and that is kind of where we're at the moment. My cat is so enthralled by the hats on my desk. We do have some silly hats here, as is tradition. I have a regular top hat, not very silly. That's going to be for the map picks. And then I have a clown hat for the variants, which is a little bit more silly, at least. So what I thought we could do tonight is kind of go over the format, go over the rules, do the map and variant drawings, which I'll get to momentarily. And then after that, we have some live matches lined up. So I'm kind of framing this as like two different episodes here. We got episode 0, where we're going to go over everything, and then episode 1 where we actually get into some matches. Okay, so Winter's Finals detailed format here. We're going to have 6 rounds in it, single elimination. As I said, the top 24 players of the 2021 Duels seasons got to participate here. I think there was some instances where, somebody couldn't make it, and like the 25th person got in, that sort of thing. And there is a prize pool for this, thanks to the wonderful The Gentleman. 50 euros for the winner, 25 euros for the runner-up, and 10 euros for the third place. So the meat and potatoes of the event is the maps and the variants here. And we're going to walk through what they mean, what they are, and all the different types that are involved here. So each series is played under a set of special rules, and the special rules are going to be a combo of one map and one variant, which we will be picking for round 1 here in a bit. Maps are mostly on maps and decks, that sort of thing, and then the variants add a restriction similar to the other 2021 Duels rounds that we've been playing all year. So we have 5 different variants, 8 different maps, so a total combo of 40 different types of combinations are available, and we're going to use one every single time during the tournament, which is pretty cool. It all kind of mathed out right for that. Starting from round 2, we're going to split series in halves, which will be best of 7s. So round 1, it's just best of 5, and it's just going to be one variant. Starting at round 2, we're going to introduce 2 combos. 2 combos per match. And as we said before, maps and variants cannot appear twice in the same series. When we do have series that have 2 combos, that makes sense. And during the same round, maps cannot appear more than once, and variants cannot appear more than twice. And that makes sense because we have 5 variants, so we're going to get a couple duplicates there. So moving on into the round 1, best of 5. So we're just going to pick one map and one variant combo for the whole series. And the matchups were determined based on the seeds, You can see there on the bottom of the stream how everybody's seeded into the tournament. And by the way, just to clarify as well, if you look at the graphic on the bottom, the top 4 seeds don't even have to play the first 3 rounds. Seeds 5 through 8 don't have to play the first 2, and seeds 9 through 24 are thrown right into the gauntlet. So they've got to prove themselves through round 1 into round 2, round 3, and beyond. All right, so starting at round 2 through... So round 1 to me is pretty straightforward, right? We're going to do a best of 5 matchup. We're going to have a map and a variant combo for each matchup. Pretty straightforward. So round 2 through 4, let me check one thing real quick. All right, looking good. Okay, so rounds 2 through 4, it's going to be best of 7 rather than best of 5, and you're going to get 2 combos per series. So games 1 through 3 are going to be on one combo. Games 4 through 7 are going to be on another combo. Top 8 players of the round are split into 2 groups. Top 4 seeds and bottom 4 seeds. I think that's for rounds 3 and 4. So the 8 players of the round are split into 2 groups, sorry. Top 4 and bottom 4. 4 sets of combinations are generated randomly. Oh, I remember this one now. So this one, it's kind of like everybody votes for which seed. So we're going to generate 8 random seeds, right? Or combos of the maps and variants. And then we're going to kind of tell each player, like, hey, which ones do you like the best? And what's your second choice, depending on who they are. So the best seeds get to pick their favorite set. The second best seeds get their favorite and second favorite. Third best seeds pick their second or third favorite set. And the 4th seed gets whatever's left over. So it's kind of interesting. You know, we're going to generate a bunch of seeds, and then players based on, or combos, I need to get my vernacular straight here. We're going to generate a bunch of combos, and players based on their seed and where they are in the tournament standings are going to kind of choose their favorite combos, and then they're going to get the combos based on their seed values. Smokey's already trying to draw. She's already in the hat. This is more entertaining than me, right? We should just watch the Cat in the Hat. Is she gonna go for it? Well, she was just doing it a second ago. Now that I put the camera on her, she's not doing anything. She's gotten this weird habit of like watching TV lately, which is kind of funny. But at the same time, she sits like right on my desk as I'm playing, like right in front of my monitor. It's like, move, Smokey, I can't see the group chat. So once we get to the semifinals here, which is going to be best of 7, we're still going to have 2 combinations per series. Games 1 through 3, games 4 through 7 will each be on a different of the map and variant combos. Round 4 matches are named Match 1, Match 2, Match 3, and Match 4, depending on the top seed number who's directly seeded in. Semifinal matches are predetermined from Round 4. Right, and Match 1 winner versus Match 4 winner, Match 2 winner versus Match 3 winner. And then 2 sets of 2 combos are handpicked by the organizers and randomly attributed to one set and the other. Handpicked, so does that mean that the organizer team, actually gets to pick the combos that we want, and then you randomly give them to the different games? And then finally, the finals and bronze match, best of 9, and pretty much we're just going to have a few combinations left, and we are going to apply them there. So yeah, that's it. Oh man, my my little browser capture didn't work for the finals, but that's okay. So that's kind of the detailed format. It gets a little bit more complicated as we're moving through it, but round 1, which is what we're focusing on right now, is pretty straightforward. We're just going to have best of 5 matches. We're going to have 1 map, 1 variant. We're going to generate those combos, and then people are going to play the games. So, I guess without any further ado, let's get into the maps here. So, map 1, we call it Harmony, and it's not a custom map or anything, it's just a map gen biome, so we're going to set the biome to Monastic Garden, and we do have some spicy rules here. Deck size of 5 compared to the traditional 6, and then game 1 only Decks must be composed by picking exactly one unit from each of the following 5 categories. So you get 1 light mammal, 1 heavy mammal, 1 reptile, 1 bird, and 1 defense. And that only applies for game 1. So then after game 1, you just pick based on your variant, rules, or whatever you want. Okay, map 2. I assume gentleman in the chat has been correcting me where I'm wrong on the rules so far, but hopefully not too wrong yet. So let's look at the Expanse. So this is going to be map number 2. It's called the Expanse. We just have a map gen bio of Scraptown, again with the 5 deck size, extra large maps. And alright, I like this a lot. Game 1 only. Only squirrels, artillery, and tier 3 are allowed. So that's pretty awesome. You're going to have squirrel, maybe an arty, and then however much tier 3 you want to fill up your deck size of 5. And then after the first game, it is just going to be deck limitations based on your variant or whatever you would like to pick. Okay, moving right along to map number 3. We've got map gen biome of the Guts. Deck size is only 2. Alright. Mills are plentiful, campfires are plentiful. Yeah, I remember now. Deck size grows by 2 with each game. So you can only start with 2 units, and then you go to 4, and then you go to 6, and then you go to 8, and then you go to 9 for game 5. And based on certain variants, variants A and B only, one selected units must be kept for the rest of the series. Variant B cannot ban units selected by the opponent on previous games. Okay. So we'll get into what these variants are here in a little bit. All right, Famine. Map number 4. The map gen biome is no district. We've got a deck size of 5 again. Scarce mills and scarce campfires here. And this time around, deck size shrinks by 1 with each game. So game 1 only, both players must run this deck. I am so excited. Can we just do a whole tournament of map 4, game 1? Map 4, game 1, boys? That's, man, that's gonna be really fun. Wolf, Fox, Pigeon, Wire, Mine. We have seen that recently. If you check out my my VODs. Reed Valley, Premium Bows map. Reed Valley, deck size 8. So this is a legit custom workshop map, and actually, let me see something here. Let me see how hard it would be. Let me press this button for a second. I meant to do this before the stream. All right. All right. Let me take the stream out of jail here. Now that I'm not going to dox myself. Let me load up, because I'd like to show what these maps look like as we go through them. Workshop. So this one's going to be Reed Valley. Copy page URL. Will that work? Let me see. Sorry, 1 second, everybody. Nope. Oh, I want to see like a big version. You know what? This might still be good though. Let's see if I do like that. Yeah, that's not bad. Does that mess with this? No. Okay, perfect. Man, I should have loaded those up first. Sorry. All right. Map number 5 is going to be on Reed Valley. Deck size of 8. 300 starting food plus 16 starting farms. And farms and camps last for 10 minutes. Yeah, and there you go. So you're going to start with all these grist mills. Pretty much rocking and rolling. They last for 10 minutes. There's one campfire in the middle. And you're going to have to make your way downtown into the water and fight each other. This one's going to be really cool. I like that a lot. All right. Number 6, Hagro's Pass. And I bet I can quickly get that one up and going. Hagro Pass. And if I do that. Okay, nice. Aggro Pass. Players start with 2 pre-built Tier 3 Warrens, Fox and Owl. Regardless of variance in decks, selling the starting Warren is never an obligation. Okay. The map features neutral machine guns and barbed wire. In variants A through D, moles are banned. Variant E, moles may appear as a result of the random variant. And let's take a look at Agro's Pass. Does that look right? Actually, let me... There we go. Now we can... Oh, we can see it. Okay. So we're going to have our... what was it? Owl and Fox, right? Yeah, Fox and Owl Warrens here. And then I guess these are like the machine guns and barbed wire and stuff that's just on the map already. Very linear, very kind of 2D. I like the background artwork here. It's a shame it won't show up in the game though, right? Because when players scout the map, it's just gonna be black. But it'll be pretty cool to look at from a caster's perspective, I suppose. You got a high ground natural. You got a low ground third right next to some spicy middle no man's land. So that's gonna be pretty fun. Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and load up this next one, which is gonna be Gentle Pond. Premium Bow's Trouble at Gentle Pond map. Oh, and I might have to... Sorry. Wait for it. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that looks okay. Professional caster Delthius here. Okay, Gentle Pond. Trouble at Gentle Pond map. 4 free-for-all with 2 AIs, green and yellow. Players start with 2 extra mills already built. AI players start with a board warren and a wall of defense. Win condition outlast the other player is enough to leave the game and claim victory. Beating the AI and winning the free-for-all is not required. We had a lot of fun with this in the fall open. I wonder if Premium Bow added any additional spice to it during the intermission here. But those of you who might have missed that, this is what it looks like. So what we ended up seeing, oh, it looks like he took the middle mill out. Is that correct? Let me see. Remove the central mill. Yeah, I figured he'd do something. Okay. So this one's actually really cool, and it's a really interesting style of Tooth and Tail, where both players kind of start here at the bottom, and then the AI is like super OP. Like there's no reason to even try to get in here. They have a ton of barbed wire, balloons, and then this boar warren that they start with will just kind of spawn a boar and wreak havoc on your base. So you have to fight with your opponent here in the center while basically dealing with this random onslaught from the AI. The ferrets from the AI have been pretty brutal to deal with, I've seen. I think the strategy ended up kind of going towards whoever can secure the center area. There used to be a mill here as well, which would help secure victory. But now what I'm thinking is going to be the path to victory here is securing this middle campfire and kind of holding the fort, because the AI will destroy you. 100%. They're going to get in and wreck your base. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, there's some interesting decisions to make. You know, do I expand towards the AI, who's going to be a pain the entire time, or do I expand towards my opponent? And are we banning? I was going to say, yeah, in last season we banned Balloon and Owl on this map, because generally Balloons and Owls kind of overperform in this like free-for-all style environment, and they are still banned here. Okay. And finally, our last map. Oh no. Oh no, everything's falling apart. Oh. Alright. Alright, we're back. The end. The ends. Premium Bow's map, the ends. Players start with 1 extra mill already built, and the map features a permanent sandstorm, I can talk, with reduced vision. So let's take a quick look at the end. The ends, plural. Let me boot that up on the stream. Bam. Okay. So this is more of a straightforward map. I think the big ticker on this one is going to be the sandstorm. and how players deal with that. Other than that, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, you've got your natural up on a high ground. There is a backdoor way, which is kind of cool. Could allow for some flanking or some lizard shenanigans. And then the rest of the expansions are kind of out here in the middle. Looks like your third is kind of doable. And what's nice is once you've secured your third, you really only have to worry about this area as your front lines. And then these central mills are going to be very difficult for either side to take. But one thing I'm noticing here is if you get one of these central mills and you have like balloons or ferrets or artillery cannons, you know, putting them up on these high ground zones here could be a real big pain for your opponent. So okay, that is. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not done yet. We got variants to go over. So that's all the different maps. I guess we can leave those up there. Let me see if I can kind of make this look a little prettier. There we go. Alright, so we've got all the variants taken care of. And nobody in chat is yelling at me too bad, so I don't think I've messed anything up horribly just yet. Perfect rule explaining so far, says the gentleman. Bam! Okay. That makes me happy. Alright, so let's go to variants. Variant A, no selling. Selling anything is forbidden. Unbind your sell button before you play the match. So pretty straightforward. We've had a lot of fun with this. I really kind of tipped the hat towards the gentleman for two of the mechanics that came up last season. One of them being the no selling, the other one being no burrowing home. Because I feel like these are such like fundamental, crucial mechanics in Tooth and Tail that everybody takes for granted. You know, for those of you who aren't super familiar with RTS or with Tooth and Tail, generally in an RTS game, when you sell a building, you get a partial refund for it, right? Like in StarCraft. Well, in StarCraft, you can't sell a building that's already built, but you can cancel it while it's building and get a little bit of a refund. But in other games where you could possibly sell a building, you generally never get a full refund. In Tooth and Tail, you do get that full refund. So I can build a Fox Warren, I can sell off the Fox Warren and get all my money back. So that allows for some really cool outplays in the game. It allows for some interesting tech switches, something like, you know, I used to win a lot of ladder games by like showing, hey, I'm going tier 3 Fox, right? They scout me, they prepare for that, then I sell the Fox Warren, build a bunch of tier 1 and attack. Stuff like that. So without being able to sell, it affects the game in so many significant ways. Another thing too is downsizing your army, because you'll be building up this like enormous army all game long, right? And then the two sides clash, and all of a sudden you can't afford all the production out of all the Warrens you had, so you go home and you sell off like half your Warrens, or decide, oh, you know, drop down on my tier 2, I need more tier 1 right now or something. So anyways, I really love the no selling rule. I think it's an interesting way to explore the game. Interesting handicap to oppose on a player. Okay, cumulative bans. Before each game, each player bans one unit for the opponent's deck selection. Units stay banned for the whole series. Each game adds on one new ban on top of what was already banned. You cannot ban squirrels. I do like that a lot. Make sure people has... Squirrels are basically the core unit of the game, so make sure people don't don't get flamed out of the squirrels. And the bans are for the opponent's deck selection. So if I ban a chameleon, that means my opponent can't use chameleon. I can still use chameleon. Always different. This one's going to be a lot of fun too. Selecting a unit 2 games in a row is forbidden. A player's deck must always be 100% different from their previous game. Unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but keep in mind that means in game 1, if I use Fox, game 2 I can't use Fox, but game 3 I could use Fox again. You just can't use any of the same units from your previous game. So that's going to be really cool. I think there's kind of 2 different types of players in Tooth and Tail. There's the type of player who's like, this is the best deck, I'm going to use this deck, I'm going to practice this style, and that's it. And then there's other players who are really flexible and can use like a random deck or use every unit pretty effectively. And Variant C is really going to encourage and be great for the ladder player in that scenario. Limited tier. This is similar to what we saw for the final boss, Sasha, last season, if not the same. Each player must only pick a limited unit once for the entire series. You can pick any number of limited units you want for one game, but once you pick that limited unit, you can't select it again. I do like this a lot as well. Is this the same? Is this the same units, Gent, or did you change these up a little bit? So yeah, I'm not sure off the top of my head. It does look similar. I don't know if maybe a couple got changed. Change it up a bit. Yeah. Okay. So what this means is in your series, it's pretty straightforward. In your series, you can only pick these units one time. So I could start off the series in game 1 saying squirrel, lizard, mole, falcon, cam, boar, but for the rest of the series I can't use any of those. Or in game 1 I could just use falcons, and then game 2 I can use chameleons, etc., etc. Okay, variant E, our final variant, and then we are going to get to the hat drawing here. Random mirror maps 1, 2, and 4. When combined with map 1, 2, or 4, this variant does not apply for the first game. Players use the same randomly generated decks. Decks are generated by the organizer in advance for each game, and decks are generated through true randomness, not the game's randomizer. And what that means is when you press the random button at like unit selection or something, the game kind of takes certain things into account. Like the game's going to try to give you like a balanced spread, a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 defense. But this is going to be true random, and there's 20 units in the game, so you could just literally, it's going to be like assign squirrel to 1, assign lizard to 2, etc., then roll a d20, and I got a 13. That's a, that's a boar, or what have you. Deck gen is re-rolled if the result does not include at least one non-structure unit other than pigeon, skunk, or wolf. And that is to ensure you have a way of hitting buildings, I guess. Maybe Fox should be on this list. But then again, I mean, you can win without hitting buildings with a Fox, as we saw in the extra stage last season with the Taka Mishi. That was a wild game. I've actually been meaning to make a clickbait VOD of that one. So, alright. That is it for this. Where's the cool spot to kind of leave this for the... Oh, wait. Does that look cool? Let me see. Yeah, there you go. That looks nice. Alright. Okay. Now we're at the silly hat part. So, what we're going to do is, I've got... this. Okay, so this is my maps. So I'm going to pick one map per matchup and one variant per matchup. So, for map 1, Kalaru vs. Sunstroke. Here we go. They are going to get map 5. And Wifeus Thundersquid drew these, so they have these lovely hearts on them. Okay. So we got map 5 for Kalaru. Maybe I'll wait to update this till I have both things here. Alright, and then Silly Hats number 2, variants drawing for Kalaru vs. Sunstroke is going to be E. Yeah, so I'll do both, and then I'll update. That makes more sense. And then we're doing pretty good on time, so maybe after I finish the drawings, we can kind of go over what the map variant matchups look like, or the combos, I should say. Okay, let's keep on moving here. Full random. Oh yeah, gentleman's already ahead of me there. Okay. So for QQ versus Urban Olive, which we're gonna see tonight, it's gonna be map number 6. And for the variants, we will have is our variant here? Variant B. So 6B for QQ versus Olive. Nice. Okay. Moving right along here. For Big Pimp and Tosh versus Unprecedented Studios. Sorry, I had to shorten some people's names because everything wouldn't fit on this scoreboard here. We've got number 1. Okay, and what is our variant gonna be? Our variant is A. So 1A for Tosh versus Studios. One A. All right. Put those in the discard pile. Drawing out of the top hat for the map of this guy versus Evil Murloc. We have map number 3. And their variance is... $3D. Oh, Smokey, stay there. Oh, come on. All I want this cam stream is this cat. Oh, she's trying to draw. She's trying to draw the maps. Yeah, sit on the sit right there. Get me all the internet points. That's what the people want to see. They don't want to see old Theus. Drawing results. I have this new thing where I ask 21-year-olds if they've ever heard of Ren and Stimpy, and they always say no, and it just makes me sad. 3D for this guy versus Evil Murloc. Hey, the one guy who was like 20, early 20s, hadn't even heard of Kurt Cobain. I said, come on, man. All right, Raton versus Lupus. Osarum. Map will be... number 7. Okay, and the variance is... what we got? C. So 7C for Raton versus Lupus. Okay. Draw from the hat, Smokey. Come on, sit here. She's not doing it. She's unamused. Look at her. Look at this. Look at this cat. He's sitting there judging me. You want to draw from the hat? Get a paw in there for the stream? No. She's like, I know you have the camera on me. I'm not gonna do it. Oh, she's thinking about it. Thinking about it. Which one do you like the best? Is it this one? Alright. Smokey has chosen for the map for Kerpa in Russia. Or Russia. Kerpa versus Rush. That's map 4. I've been watching a lot of history on Russia and the Middle East lately. I guess I just have Russia on the mind. Alright, rainbow hat here. Kerpa versus Rush. Variant will be C. C again. Keep in mind we can't have 2 variants. 2 of the same variants. So 4C for Kerpa versus Rush. We actually just had a C, didn't we? Huh. Alright. So we've got 2 more here. And for Tandor Draco versus Snake, the map will be map number 8. Okay. And the variant is A. 8A for Tandor versus Snake. Alright. Last but not least, what should this be? Is this number 2? We haven't had 2 yet? Sure enough, look at that. I know how to count to 8. It is number 2. And our last variant here will be 2B. 2B. R22 and Eoluminatus playing near Automata. Alright, so what do we got here? Let us look at the results. So, Kalaru versus Sunstroke. That's 5E. So let's take a look at 5E. Alright, now that I can get these hats off my desk. There we go, I have more room for my water. Beautiful. Alright, 5E. So number 5 is going to be... Number 5 is going to be Reed Valley. And of course that is the one that I did not keep up. Let me throw that back on the screen here. I have all the other ones open besides this one. Alright, so they're going to be playing on Reed Valley. Okay. Yep, the spicy map where your economic structures last for 10 minutes. There's the one campfire that also lasts for 10 minutes. You start with 16 farms. And I think that's it, right? Yep, and you get 300 extra starting food. For 300 total starting food. Now that I have this pile of garbage on my desk, my cat is stomping all over me for it. Come on, Smokey. There you go. That's a good spot for a cat. Okay. And then E, variant E. Okay, so it's going to be Reed Valley. And the random mirror. Okay. The true random mirror. Interesting. So this is going to be a pretty crazy one. You're going to have a lot of money. You're going to have a lot of resources. But you're going to have a random deck. True random. And it's going to be a mirror. So we could see some pretty crazy stuff happen here. But it's kind of hard to really go farther than that because the random mirror on this deck can make for so many possibilities. I really hope it does not result in balloons. We'll find out. There's no, I don't think there's any kind of unit restriction for variant 5, is there? No. Okay. So what's our next one? 6B? Hey, QQ, with the sub, man. What's up? I appreciate it, sir. Alright, what are we doing? 6B, right? Sometimes it's hard to tell with this font. Let me confirm. Yeah, 6B. That's what it says. Okay, so we're gonna have Hagro Pass, where you start off with the fox and the owl. And oh shoot. So we do have a variant. Okay, variant B, moles are banned, and we are variant B. So you're gonna have neutral machine guns and barbed wire on this one, which is Hagro Pass. So this is the one where you start with the owl and the fox. You got some machine guns and barbed wire. Second base up on the high ground, third end the natural, getting close to this no man's land in the center. And it's gonna be with variant B. What was I should probably just do that, huh? Variant B is cumulative bans. Okay. So before each ban, each player bans one unit for the opponent's deck. Okay, so I see why on this it's saying moles are banned, period. And so I think what this is getting at is saying if Fox gets banned against you, you don't have to sell that Fox Warren, right? You can still use... So if your opponent bans Fox or Owl, you can still use that Warren that you start with. I think that's what this rule is getting at here. So that's going to be pretty cool. I think a lot of strategy could go into this, deciding which units you want to ban against your opponent. Knowing the map is pretty important for that kind of thing. You can kind of study it, you can practice it with a buddy, and then kind of realize, oh, chameleons are really strong here, let me ban those out. Alright. And Tosh, Big Pimp and Tosh versus Unprecedented Studios is going to be 1A. So let's look at what 1A means. Harmony. Okay. So it's going to be kind of a regular map here, and the first game, you must have exactly one of each category of animal and defense in your deck. And other than that, it's only up to the variant, and the variant A is no selling. Alright. This one's going to be cool. The no selling variant, I think they kind of... I'm not sure how that's going to impact. I think it's going to get closer to a regular game, of course, with the big downside of the no selling. But you know what? That's actually kind of neat, because map 1, outside of game 1, like game 1's the only game where map 1 has some like wonky rules. So throwing in the no selling with it really is going to spice it up. Ooh. Yes, Cecilica in the chat saying, can you micro your Fox Sallow without it in your deck? Well, you wouldn't... I don't think you'd be able to micro it individually, but you could rally your whole army. That should work. Yeah, that's a good question. That's going to be interesting. If somebody bans the Fox, then it's like, well, how am I going to really control the Fox? Yeah, you just have to rally all. That's a really good point. Okay. This guy versus Evil Murloc, 3 and D. Not being able to micro Fox seems like it's useless. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, you can... We'll see what players come up with. I mean, it can still help to be in the back with some firepower, but yeah, I think if I had Fox banned against me on that map, I might consider selling the Warren. But we'll see. Because sometimes the Fox is so much farther back from your army, you might be able to, like, micro that without impacting the rest of your force as much, but yeah, that's going to be interesting. Okay, so for this guy versus Evil Murloc, it's 3D. So map gen, the gut. Okay, so this is the one. Oh wait, 3D. So we don't have to worry about these rules here. So it's going to be a plentiful map, deck size of 2, and then every game you get more and more units in your deck. And then we're going to have variant D for that. Limited tier. Okay. This is going to be fun. So, game 1. Oh, that's tough. Like, you're going to have to take a squirrel or lizard in game 1, I'd imagine. I mean, sometimes if you're really creative, you might be able to get out of taking a tier 1 unit. But, I don't know, man. If you only have 2 units... I feel like one of those is going to have to be squirrel or lizard. So that's going to be really interesting to see. Okay, next up we have Raton versus Lupus. And that is going to be 7C. Oh, cool. All right. So this is going to be the Trouble at Gentle Pond. So this is the map where it's a free-for-all. And you don't necessarily have to be the winner. You just have to last longer than the other player, not the computers. The computers have a huge advantage. They're already set up. They're already ready to go. They got a Boar Warren. They got a ton of defense. They got a ton of economy. And this map was really cool to see last season. I'm really glad it's back in it. And what's our variant for this? That was 7, right? Yeah, Gentle Pond. And then C. What is C? Always different. Selecting a unit 2 games in a row is forbidden. Okay. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. You don't have Woofer Balloon on top of that. So you're going to have to get creative with the comps. That actually is going to be bad, now I'm thinking about it, because people were starting to figure out they could do things like use snakes to knock out... Well, snakes don't hit structures anymore, actually. So you would have to do something like Ferret plus Pigeon, maybe, to knock out the Boar Warrens. Players are going to have to get a little more creative on how they deal with that quick Boar Warren from the opponent. Or you can just let it build. But even letting, I mean, even still, that snakes can't hit buildings anymore. It's still going to be very, very good to have those snakes, right? Because right when the boar spawns, 2 snakes just tag it and kill it. Since the AI has horrible micro, they're just going to send that boar to your face, and you can snake poison it down before it's a real threat to you. So I don't know, maybe like I would switch back and forth between snakes and falcons. Falcons can kind of do a similar job. You just need more of them, right? Like 4 falcons will DPS down a boar pretty quickly. You take Balloon Owl every other game for 7C. Really? Like, you can take Balloon and Owl? I would assume that the Balloon and Owl were still banned, but... They're only banned for A and B. Oh! Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, thanks for the clarification. Interesting. So, alright, only variants A and B. The balloons are banned. Balloons and owls are banned. I would have noticed that if I knew how to read. So, okay. So, you can use Owl and Balloon on map 7 as long as you're not in variant A or B. Okay, Kerpa versus Rush. Which I think is on the docket for tonight. Aren't we doing QQ versus Olive and then Kerpa versus Rush? Okay, I think Gentlemen and Premium Bow are getting the players all situated behind the scenes. Yeah, so we're going to do QQ versus Olive and Kerpa versus Rush tonight after we wrap this up. I told you, gentlemen, it would take like an hour. Stuff always takes longer than you think it will. But yeah, we're going to hit the hour pretty closely here. So, for C, which will be on tonight, Famine. Map gen, no district. Deck size 5, scarce. Oh, it's sweet! Okay, yes! We're going to see the Wolf Fox, Wire, Mine, Pigeon game tonight. That's only game 1, unfortunately, though. So, and then every subsequent game, the deck sizes are going to get smaller and smaller. So, I have to pay attention to that, since I'll be hosting the lobby. And then C, always different. Selecting a unit 2 games in a row is forbidden. Interesting. So we're going to... So basically, game 2, you're not going to be allowed any of these units. And then game 3, you can't use any units used before. I am glad Premium Bow is here. I think the gentleman's going to go to sleep soon. It's like crazy late over in Europe. But this is going to be hard for me to track live. Make sure nobody cheats on this. So I'm going to be counting on you, P-Boop, in the background. Okay. Tander Draco versus Snake. We have 8 and A. 8 is the ends. Mill start with 1 extra mill already built. Map features a permanent sandstorm with reduced vision, and A was no selling, right? Yeah, alright, so we're going to be on the ends. So there's a sandstorm here, like in the campaign. It's going to make the fog of war even worse for you. And you're not allowed to sell anything. So once you build something, it's just there, unless the opponent destroys it. Okay, and finally, R22 versus Illuminatus. We are in the 2B matchup. Expanse. Extra large map. Game 1. Okay, game 1's going to be really fun. Squirrel, and then your choice of these units here are the only units you can use. And then B is cumulative bans. So before each game, each player bans 1 unit. Can they... I guess that would include game 1, right? Yeah, so game 1, I could say, you can't use a badger. And then they would be even more restricted. So, okay, everybody. I think that's about it. So, that's the tournament. Tonight, we're going to have QQ versus Urban Olive and Kerpa versus Rush. And, yeah. So, I hope everybody enjoyed the preamble here. We got to play with some silly hats. We got to pet some good cats. And we got to learn a little bit about the 2021 Duels Winter Finals. And now that we know what the Round 1 seeds are, we can get things underway. So what I'm going to do is kick it to a break until the players are ready to roll, and we will go for there. So don't go anywhere. I don't know how long the break is going to be. I got to coordinate behind the scenes and see where the players are at. So be back in a little bit. I'll keep you guys updated in the chat.